if you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, whether it be career-wise, life-wise, impact-wise, and what game you're trying to figure out to play, this is how I'm making my decisions for myself, for my future, and currently, I'm Dom Jackson, Cultivating Media, and this is the 7-Day Scoop Show, my weekly show where I document the process of rebuilding my AT day by day media and the decisions that I make to get there in the process of doing it. If you have a venture you're trying to pursue, this is where I document my story to help teach and motivate you. Now, I'm in the car again. I ain't like doing these more, to be honest. I just find that it's just a lot more fun to do it in the car. It's just more freeing over here, you know? Like the setup with the mic is nice, but the car has such a nice feel to it. Just like, it has a classicness that I just really like. So one of the biggest issues that people have, that I think people have, that I have, that people have, that society has as a whole, is, I heard Gary Vee say it one time, this is a game of the edges. Macro strategy and micro movements at the bottom. So basically, where do you want to do with your life, your overall strategy for your life as a whole, and then what are the actions you're going to do to get there? If you have those two things down pat, you're set. And the older I get, the more I realize people didn't have any other strategy besides, like, maybe go to college might have been the highest thing they've had in their head. Go to college, have a family, buy a house, get a kid, and then just exist for the rest of the time. Like, that's most people's entire game plan for their entire life. And it's like, that's all they want to do, which is okay, like, no judgment. But I don't think they have any more thoughts than, like, this thought. The reason I do this weekly show is, one, to show the process of what I'm doing content-wise for anyone who I inspire later on. You know, hey, this was him when he was just getting started, because I really like watching the videos of people who inspire me and then seeing them when they were just like in the basement, in the gutter, just figuring it out in the trenches. That's like the most valuable time, you know. It's the point where no one really knows who you were, that you didn't really know what you were doing, and you still found a way. So I'm super excited to have this documented, because I'm a winner. I know I'm a fucking winner. And, you know, now it just goes to show that everyone else is going to see that I'm a winner too. Now, the next thing is that I got a job now doing a direct marketing job, and I'm still taking people that have Cultivating Media, the clients I had already set up. I am in a point right now where the way I'm breaking down my game plan, so I had to start from the top, and I broke each down to a different level. So I talked about in a video before, like, the concept of, you know, I realized that I'm not really the type of person to, like, money is good, but I'm not like a money guy. And, like, I have an ego, but I'm not like the ego guy. I have to do something that's, like, for someone else to really get the most out of me. I'm better if I'm doing something for someone else. And I had this concept of, like, the garden, you know, it's like the place where dreams and ideas can grow. That's like the main form of what my, like, I guess, world is. As I do more stuff, to see how it plays out. But I decided that I'm going to do more stuff. My end goal is going to be helping out a certain amount of people, nonprofit wise. So end goal is to help. This is going on the life structure. And because me and my community, you know, all of us watching these videos, we're bigger thinkers, bigger actors. It may take a little bit to get there, but we have steps we're going to take. So what I realized that, hey, I need to make sure I have a bigger plan, because I want to make a lot of money. I want to do a lot of cool things, but money's not really enough to get me out of bed in the morning to go attack the world the way I need to, the way to compete, the way to fight, the way to go about doing things. And I decided that I have to do, or I have a nonprofit goal that I want to do as well. Now, I made a decision a long time ago. I didn't record this, but I wanted to help everyone born after 2020 with some kind of cause. My original goal was to help out X amount of kids do something born after 2020. So the new version of that goal, I've been thinking about it, and as I do more research, I'll be able to give you more information on each phase of it. But my goal is to have about 747 million children, or 747 million people with blank. That's like my end goal. So that way I can start doing it now. I can do it when I'm 50. I'm doing it when I'm 60, 100. Like, throughout my whole life, I'm gonna help out this many people with this problem. whether it be me partnering with a nonprofit, me starting a nonprofit, me helping someone on the street. There's one problem I'm gonna fight through my entire existence. Probably something with kids, just because I have a lot more kids in my lifespan. You know, I'm the oldest of 6. Been around kids my whole life. Just like, it just makes more sense with who I am as a person for me to fight something that involves children. I looked up how many kids were born in 2020 in the U.S. as a whole, and I think it was only like 3 million something. So the number, the 747 is even higher than that. So like, I can do this on a global level as far as like hitting my number, which is cool, because I thought originally I only wanted to do stuff in the U.S., but it was a shift. Now, you ask why the 747 number? It's just the number that I like the most, to be honest. I'm born July 4th. I don't have any more reason than that. I was born July 4th, and I think the other 7 is cool. Sometimes when I look at the clock, I see 747. I don't know if that's actually a real thing, or it's a thing I chose and I just put it in my own brain. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter. It's the number that I'm gonna rock with for everything else. So my Instagram handle is DomJackson747, and at least with the 747 million people helped, it like adds onto the brand of the whole story of like why I'm doing what I'm doing. So he wants to do this to make the money to do this to help out 747 million blank with this cause throughout his entire life. And it's like everything kind of ties in a lot more brand wise. So I have a 747 agency, Day by Day Media. You know what I'm saying? I'm Day by Day Media 7 days in a week. Like, I'll just find ways to put that shit together, to fit the fits together. But anyway, the most important thing is that there's a strategy now that how I'm moving for my actual thought process in life. And now I can like, all right, cool. Well, you know, I helped out one person today solve this problem, or it took me 5 years to solve this problem for one person. Now it's, I don't even know what the 9999747 would look like, but as I begin counting down, it'll grow. Now, that's like the end goal, like altruistic kindness, help people out goal, because you gotta have one of those, because it's just too hard to not have something. And it could be anything for anyone. I just chose this because I know I want to make money, and you have to make money because you have to find a way to make money in the game. But now I just had to figure out how to articulate it into something that I want to do that helps me with my actual actions, because just doing it for me doesn't give me enough strength for some reason. And that's cool, which is how I'm wired or how I'm set up. But like, hey, I can do it for someone else better than I can do it for myself. Bet. Well, I'll do it for some kids that need some help. I have to research the problems of what these people are having. But the first step when I had this thought, I was like, all right, how about kids in the U.S.? And I saw that there wasn't enough kids in the U.S. to hit my numbers. So like, I was like, all right, cool. I can look up bigger numbers now. You know, I can do more things around the world. I can look at Charity Navigator and see what charities help out this cause. Then I was like, well, if they're born after 2020, you know, they're going to be 10-year-olds in 2030. They're going to be 20-year-olds in, you know, 2040. So like, technically they're the same kids, but the problems I'm going to solve with what I'm doing are going to be different depending on what stage of the game they are. So like, it just began me to start thinking about things differently, which is good, because the thing that makes life hard for a lot of people, and the reason people are so swayed or like quote unquote sheep, is because technically you can be doing anything at any point in time. You just have to have the rules, the knowledge on how to do it, and the will to do it for anything. So, you know, I think one of the biggest reasons that business is so hard, because you got infinite options and infinite possibilities, yet only certain things will actually bear fruit, only for a certain amount of time. So it is challenging to figure out what to do that you want to do on your own and create something new that works at the same time. So that's why I having this structure for myself, and I advise anyone else that's trying to like feels lost, just pick some shit, bro, and you could just change it later. Like, I hope one day, like, this is like a very raw beginning process of this. I'm sure in 5 years I have a better, more refined version I'll put out to the public. But as far as like people watching this video from day one, like, this is just some shit I just chose, and I was like, yo, cool, we're gonna make some decisions right now, and then I'm gonna do some good shit at the end. I'm gonna make a fuck ton of money. I'm gonna build my business, learn my skills, and then, you know, like, I'm gonna die. Like, that's the whole thing. And then document the whole process of me doing it and figuring it out. Now, the next step of the plan comes in the money avenue of it. making $10 million net worth within my lifetime, or within 20 years. I don't know how long it's actually going to take. I have to do more of the logistics on that, because like the money's not really the money. The money's more of something to chase, the game to play. And for anyone watching this, like, oh, I don't give a fuck about money like that, like, that's cool. But here's the only thing I tell everybody, including myself: you got to find a way to be fit. You got to find a way to make money, and you got to find a way to like keep yourself spiritually and morally sound. Because you just have to do these things. Like, there's no, like, if you're not doing them, then like you can't avoid them. You have to take care of your body. You have to get money somehow, and you have to do something to keep yourself aligned, unless you just go completely insane or be completely just an unhealthy version of yourself that's sick all the time, and or just have no money at all. So find some way to contribute to the whole in some capacity, and all the ways there. So that is why I'm like, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. So $10 million net worth goal. I just got it from a Mosey video to keep it a buck. Like, he had a video talking about how to get $10 million net worth, and I was like, cool. Broke it down, simple enough. A couple different ways to do it. He was like, you can make at one point you can make $15 million a year, just straight income. And I was like, cool, that may be possible. Probably the harder ones are the two. Another one was like, you can get $1 million a year business, invest at 9% in the S&P over 10 years, and then you should be about 10 million a year net worth there. You can do it ESOP. He broke down a lot of ways. I put the video in the link below, but I'll figure out what strategy I want to do. But hey, $10 million net worth, cool. I'm down to play the game. How do I get there? Now, the next thing is, how do I get $1 million a year business? Did the math on that. He has a video on that too. It's $83K a month, $21K a week, selling X amount of things at this much time. Once again, all these things are goals to shoot for the entire life game, because people just be doing shit and not be doing shit. Like, people just exist. Now I have a constant driver to go shoot for life, for the entire game while I'm here. And I'll have other goals too, because I want to make sure people understand that this is like, the way this is framed to me is money, but it's also like a game in itself. Like, the same way you would say, I want to be a bodybuilder, I want to do an Ironman, I want to do belly dancing, you know what I'm saying? I want to have the most kills in Fortnite, you know what I mean? There's just so many other levels of like things people want. I just chose to play my game to have money and impact as two of my biggest factors. So it's like the 747 million helped, $10 million net worth, $1 million business, because you need the $1 million business to hit the $10 million options, depending on what it is. It's like the first level to get into that next level, if you want to use debt or you want to use equities, or you want to sell the business. Like I said, he explains it all in the video. It's right in there. And now we go to the next part, because like, to even get to the $1 million year business, it's so many things I have to learn to get to that point. Now, between working this sales job and realizing what I was doing, I just realized that entrepreneurially, I came in with no real entrepreneur skills, which is, that's what happens. You come in, you learn. That's the name of the game. I also came in not really knowing what I was doing too much besides video editing, which is fine. But I didn't even know how to sell what I was selling. And if I can go back in time, I probably would have just started with Instagram, because Instagram was still very popular back then. I would have did Instagram video content, because Instagram was still the main platform. TikTok was coming up, so I might have either chose TikTok or Instagram and just went straight fitness content on there and just learned that and got really good at making fitness content, and then taught people how to do that and made their videos for it, mastered the algorithm and stuff there. But that's my thought now, because like, I realize now that I had to have enough of a niche to really know what I was doing. 2, I had enough of a niche to know who I was even selling to. 3, I probably should have kept my job too, because I didn't have the capacity to leave yet. and it put me in a lot of bad spots fiscally now. Like even now, like I probably owe about 10 grand to people in personal loans, just like $1 here, $1 there. So I gotta pay some stuff back. So these are things that I thought about just in hindsight, like as I reset and readjust. Next thing is that I need to get more skills. I just didn't have the skills to do anything that I want to do, especially as a marketing agency. Like to come in just like I never marketed anything, period. I never sold anything in certain industries that I was trying to do the content for. It's a lot of things that were just like unknowns that I didn't need to go into. That if I just would have stayed in fitness where I was at, I could have just rocked that. Or I could have just stayed a 7 spheres of money satellite and just really refine my skills on becoming what they needed to, and then build my business from there. Thought process wise, these are just like things I'm thinking about from places I was in for my current mindset. And you know, decisions are made. So there's no. It's like, all right, cool. How do I do this now? So my new adjustment now is I either stick with this direct marketing job, because you end up learning all the skills and building up to get your own office, so I can like do that whole process, learn more leadership skills, become a better salesman, learn how to lead a team, learn how to manage a team, learn how to run the office, that whole game of that system, which isn't bad. I can learn a lot of entrepreneur skills, and I can learn on someone else's dime, which is like it's an option I'm considering. I just have to see if I want to do that path, or I go work and get a sales job working for something else. Now the industry, I still have to decide. Like, am I going to do fitness sales? Am I going to do work for an agency? And it's really just been the next 5 years just mastering selling that craft, so that I can be one of the top people in that game. So then, first learn how to sell it, then learn how to market it, then learn how to build an agency around marketing it, then learn how to buy a business or sell a business around that field. And then I can kind of work on getting that 1 million to 10 million goal within the next, 20 years or so. Like I said, everything right now is still very idea-y, but at least we have like the points of it. So, like I said in the last video, I have to spend more time making a plan of what things look like. I'm very good at going and starting, but the information is really what you need, and the details really gives you the idea of how to keep yourself going. It's like, hey, I have to figure out how to get this by this time, how to get this by this time, how to get this by this time. And you just gotta, roll with the punches and grow with it. But having my strategy now in place puts me in a way better mentality of how to move for the rest of the year, how to move the rest of my life. And then let's say, hey, I want to adjust this again. Cool, I have the options to. But at least now, like who I was when I first started doing this in January and who I am doing this now and about to be June, I have so much more context of like, hey, what do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? I came in saying I want to do the podcast niche, which was not a bad niche, but it also wasn't enough to get what I needed from the level of understanding that I had. And I just wasn't really sure at the level of the revenue that it could bring in. And me being in a spot where I was already in a deficit cash flow wise, I was more frantic than I needed to be. So going in and getting a sales job in an industry that I just want to dominate in, real estate, fitness, with the job I have right now, I'm direct marketing, but it's for nonprofits, but it's direct marketing as a whole. So there's a lot of options. As I research and look at more things, I'll be able to give more answers. But for right now, new strategy, new play. Now it's like, what do I have to do to set myself up to have a right business in the next 5 years versus, have the business ready right now? Because I am confident in my ability to do things, but there's other stepping stones I think I should have had. With the current model that I've chose to live, I think it would be better for me to spend more time learning something than it would be for me to just jump into it. Also, on a side note for anybody else doing this, if you want to go straight entrepreneur into, tell me you don't really know too well, learning entrepreneurship as a whole, That's an old set of skills right there. Learning how to do a craft you don't know how to do professionally yet, because I didn't really know how the content creation. I had enough like hobby level skills. It wasn't like professional level skills. And then just going balls in, like doing it. I think there's an option of that where I could have won, but if I was going to do that, I should have just only did that. I still had a personal life, so I would go for family events. I do this, go stay a week with my family here. All great things, for that side of the coin, but there's a cost on the other side of the coin when you're not playing the game. So, we'll see what hindsight says. Hindsight's 2020, but like I said before, thank you for the game. Hope anyone out there playing the game, wish you the best. As always, take it one step at a time. We'll get there day by day.